What if the person you love most leaves your heart hurting and you go to sleep, not speaking, unsure if things will ever be the same? Sometimes, a single act of kindness the next morning can do what words alone never could. Have you ever needed an apology more than anything? The silverware clatters as I set the table. The smell of roasted chicken hangs in the air. Marcus walks in, drops his bag by the door, and barely glances my way. "Dinner's ready," I say, hoping for a smile. He sighs, rubbing his neck. "I'll be there in a second, Nat." I stand in the kitchen, watching him scroll his phone by the counter. Plates steam quietly. Our son Eli bounds in, dropping his backpack, hands already reaching for a roll. Eli grins, waving. "I got my spelling test back. 94. Marcus ruffles Eli's hair, half smiling. "Nice work, buddy." I watch him, waiting for him to see me. He sits down quickly, eyes heavy, flipping through the mail. I slide into my seat. "So, Eli's game is Saturday. My mom invited us after. Can we go this time?" Marcus doesn't answer right away. He takes another bite, then looks at me. "I have work. I told you. I can't just drop everything for a cookout every weekend." My voice gets small. "She only asks a couple times a month." He shrugs, chewing. "It's always something. I need a break from people sometimes, Nat. Sorry if that's harsh." The table goes quiet. Eli glances between us, poking at his veggies. I force a smile so he won't worry. Trying to keep things light, I say, "I made your favorite, apple pie. Just for tonight." Marcus pushes a piece around his plate. I'm full, not really in the mood. My hand tightens on my fork. Heat creeps up my neck, pride and hurt tangling. "You're never in the mood anymore, Marcus. I cook, I plan, and you just check out." He pushes away from the table, irritated. "Don't make this a whole thing. I'm tired too, you know." Words catch in my throat as he leaves the table, grabbing his bag and heading to the den. The pie sits on the counter, golden and perfect. One bite missing. Eli squirms, voice soft. "Are you mad, Mom?" I shake my head, eyes stinging. "No, honey, it's just been a long day." He nods. "Want to play a game after homework?" I nod, ruffling his hair. "Sure, I'd like that." Eli drifts away, humming to himself. Alone in the kitchen, I watch the clock tick. The pie cools, untouched except for one messy forkful. I clear the plates, set leftovers in the fridge, and glance around the silent house. Marcus sits behind a closed door, lights off. No words, no apology, not even a look back. A heaviness settles in the air. I lean on the counter, tears pricking my eyes. The pie, half eaten, sits like proof that something important was left unfinished. Later, I wash the dishes, letting the water run hot. My hand lingers on the clean fork, scrubbing harder than needed. Even the small things feel stubborn on a night like this. The dog pads through the room and rests his chin on my knee. I kneel, scratching his ears, wishing I had enough strength to fix things with just a word. The air is thick, all the words we held back hanging between the shadows. I flick off the kitchen lights, leaving only a soft lamp glowing by the pie. The house settles into uneasy quiet. Marcus's steps echoing on the stairs, then fading. I head upstairs, the pie's sweet scent following me, reminding me what should have brought us together. As I close our bedroom door, my chest aches. In the dark, I curl up and listen to Marcus moving around in the hallway. Both of us pretending everything's normal. But the pie, the silence, the missed glance, they're all witnesses to a little bit of love gone missing. Sometimes, nothing hurts more than words never spoken. Sometimes, all you hear is the quiet, wishing something could break it. The hallway is still and dark. I click off Eli's nightlight, press a kiss to his forehead, and pull the door shut with a soft click. One deep breath. I head downstairs. Marcus is on the couch, remote in hand, staring at a TV he's not really watching. He doesn't look my way. I sit across from him, not ready to let the silence win. "We didn't finish talking," I say. He exhales, muted and tired. There's nothing else to say. I try to stay calm. "That's the problem. You always shut down when things get hard, and I'm left spinning." He mutters, "I'm just trying to avoid more tension. I don't want to fight with you, Nat." "But we are fighting," I snapped, voice breaking. "You're just doing it with silence." He rubs the back of his neck, jaw clenched. Why does everything have to turn into a speech? I stand, arms crossed. Because I'm here, talking, hoping you'll show me that how I feel still matters. Because I'm asking for something so simple. He shifts his weight, avoids eye contact. I said I was tired, and you keep pressing. I take a shaky breath. I'm pressing because I need to know I'm not invisible in my own marriage. I planned the dinner, asked about your week, and brought up your mom's birthday plans. You gave back cold answers and left me with pie on the counter. He doesn't move. I just wanted you to say you were sorry for brushing me off, for shutting me out. His voice is cold now. I'm sorry if that's how you took it. I laugh, sharp, bitter. That's not an apology, Marcus. That's avoidance with frosting on top. A flash of annoyance in his eyes. It's midnight, Natalie. I nod, arms folded tighter. And I'm standing here begging you to care. Again. I look at him, really look. But he just grabs the remote and says, "Good night." And then he walks out, past me, past the kitchen, past the half-eaten pie. Into the den. He closes the door behind him. And the sound of that door, it feels louder than anything he's said all night. Mini flashback. A few years ago, after a silly fight about laundry, of all things, Marcus brought me coffee in bed. No big words, just a quiet, "Sorry I was a jerk last night. I was wrong." I smiled so big that morning. Back then, saying sorry came easier to him. So did seeing me. Now, it's like that version of us is buried under 100 nights, just like this one. Midnight ticks closer. I climb into bed, pulling the blanket over me, though I can't get warm. I stare at the ceiling, eyes wide open, heart heavy. Why is it so hard for the person you love to just recognize they hurt you? Why does saying, "I'm sorry," feel like lifting the moon? Have you ever waited for an apology that never came? What did you wish would happen instead? A tear slips down my cheek, soaking into the pillow. I wipe it fast and roll onto my side. The den door stays closed, and for the first time in a long while, I don't even ask if he'll come to bed, because I already know the answer, and somehow that hurts even more. The glow of my phone lights up the dark room. I scroll through old photos, vacations, birthdays, blurry selfies where we're laughing big, arms wrapped tight. There's one of us in the kitchen, flour on our faces, pie in the oven. That one stings the most. I linger on it, staring at the smile I wore back then. Was it this hard for us before? Was he just better at showing love? Or was I better at holding it together? My thumb hovers over the screen. I think about texting him. Just a simple, "Good night," but my chest tightens. What if he doesn't answer? What if I pour out something soft and his silence answers back? I lock the screen and turn it face down. The room feels cold, the kind of cold that has nothing to do with weather. I pull the quilt up around me. It's old, faded at the edges. My mom gave it to me when I left for college. I remember crying into it after breakups, curled up in dorm corners, wishing someone would just say they didn't mean it. Now, as a grown woman, I'm crying into it again. I stare at the ceiling, heart aching. I open my contacts and tap on my sister's name before I can talk myself out of it. The call connects. Nat? Samantha's voice is soft. You okay? I didn't wake you, did I? Number, I couldn't sleep either. What's going on? I pause. Then the truth pours out. We fought again, and he just shut down. And now he's in the den, and I'm in bed, and I feel like I don't even recognize us anymore. I just wanted one kind word, even a little sorry, but nothing. Samantha breathes slowly on the other end. That's hard. I know that kind of silence. I hate it. I whisper. It feels like a wall I can't climb. There's a pause. She says, sometimes love doesn't look like a perfect apology. Sometimes it's stubborn and scary. Sometimes pride talks louder than the heart. I wipe a tear. So what do? Pretend like it didn't hurt? No, Sam says gently. You feel it. You rest in it. And you let him see what distance really feels like. He'll come around. And if he doesn't, then you'll know. But until then, don't be the only one trying to fix it. Just breathe tonight, okay? Let it be what it is. I nod, though she can't see it. Thanks, Sam. Always. I end the call and hold the phone close to my chest. The house is still, too still. Downstairs, nothing moves. No footsteps up the stairs. No creaking of the bedroom door. Marcus doesn't join me. And even though I'm wrapped in the quilt meant to bring me comfort, it feels like I'm lying under a storm. I close my eyes and pull the fabric tighter, warm in body, aching in heart. I whisper into the quiet, more prayer than sentence. Please, let this get better. The room does not answer, just the sound of the heater kicking on. The silence stretches longer. The sun creeps through the blinds, painting stripes across the kitchen floor. I sit on the edge of the bed for a few extra minutes, my eyes thick and sore. Pillow lines mark my cheeks where tears dried in the night. For a while, I just listen. Quiet footsteps, the shuffling of drawers. Marcus moves around our house like a stranger. I go downstairs, hands shaky, and set a pan on the stove. The eggs bubble, toast pops up, and I spread peanut butter extra thick. Eli's favorite. The kitchen smells warm, but the air is sharp and cold between us. Marcus comes in, hair rumpled, eyes fixed on his phone. He stands by the fridge without speaking, opens it, pulls out milk, and pours it with a heavy hand. He won't look at me. I set plates on the table, one for each of us, and pour orange juice. My heart hammers. Too loud for such a quiet room. Eli pads in, sleepy but smiling, holding his favorite dinosaur. Morning, Mom. Morning, Dad. His voice is sunshine in a storm. I ruffle his hair. Morning, buddy. You want one pancake or two? He climbs onto his chair. Just one, with extra syrup. Marcus sits across from me, still not meeting my eyes. I slide his plate over, the silence pulsing. We eat in small clinks of forks and the soft tick of the wall clock. A few minutes in, Eli looks up, chewing slowly. Are you and Dad mad at each other? My fork freezes on the plate. I try to smile, but it's weak. No, sweetheart. Sometimes grown-ups just have quiet mornings. He frowns, swinging his feet. You look sad, Mommy. Did I do something wrong? I reach out, touch his hand. No, Eli, you're wonderful. It's just, sometimes people get their feelings hurt, and it takes time to feel better. Across the table, Marcus clears his throat, but the words die in his chest. He gets up to top off his coffee, hand trembling, just enough for me to notice. His shoulders round forward as if he's hiding, and my heart aches at the space between us. Eli pushes his empty plate forward, syrup smeared, in a smile. If you want, I can share my dinosaur. He makes me feel better when I'm sad. Tears sting again. I lean over, hugging him tight. Thank you, honey. That means the world. Marcus turns away, standing by the sink. The shape of his back tells me everything I need to know. He's hurting, but can't find his words. Mini flashback. I'm 9 again, crouched in my childhood bedroom behind a closed door. My parents' argument echoes down the hallway. A storm with no end. They lived in separate worlds for weeks. Silent dinners, holidays spent in separate rooms. I remember thinking, I'll never let a fight stretch so long in my own house. But now my hands shake, and I hear the echo of that old silence in our kitchen. I pull myself back to the moment. Eli runs upstairs, stomping loud on purpose, and the house rattles just a bit. Marcus finally glances over, guilt shadowing his face. But still, nothing spoken. He grabs his keys, says too quickly, I'll be home late. Big deadline. I nod, voice too thin for comfort. Drive safe. He pauses at the door. For a heartbeat, I think he'll turn and say something. Sorry. Anything. But he just pulls on his coat and leaves. The door clicks shut, a line drawn in the morning. The kitchen feels empty. The pie from last night sits untouched, a sugary wound on the counter. I sit down, elbows to the table, and try to hold in the tears. But I can't. They come hard and hot, the kind that burn your throat on the way up. All my questions pile up. Does he even care? Is it always going to feel like I'm the only one holding our family together? I bury my face in my hands. If you were in my shoes, would you keep waiting for your husband to apologize? Or would you make the first move? Sometimes, I think about reaching out, piecing things together. Other days, I want him to stand up and meet me halfway. Today, I just wish I knew if I was fighting for both of us, or just for myself. Upstairs, I hear Eli's footsteps and wipe my face fast. All I want is some sign that it's not over, that the history I remember isn't about to repeat. The house is still, too still, and I wonder, with every beat, if love is enough to break the silence this time. The cafe door chimes softly as I step inside. The smell of fresh coffee wrapping around me, like a warm hug. Robin waves from a corner table, her smile steady and welcoming. I slide into the seat across from her, the weight of last night pressing down. I didn't sleep, I admit, voice low. Marcus and we fought again, and he just shut down. Robin nods, her eyes kind. That kind of silence is the hardest. It's like being alone in a crowded room. I stare into my coffee, swirling the dark liquid. I just want him to see me, to say he's sorry. But it feels like I'm shouting into the void. She reaches across the table, her hand brushing mine. Sometimes, Nat, the people we love don't know how to say what we need. And sometimes, they don't even realize what they're missing. I swallow hard. What do I do when he won't talk? When the silence is louder than words? Robin leans back, thoughtful. You take care of yourself. Go for a walk. Breathe. Write down what you want to say. If words don't come out right, maybe a letter will. I nod slowly, the idea settling in. I haven't done that in a long time. She smiles gently. It's okay to ask for what you need, even if it's hard. You deserve that. After coffee, I walk through the quiet streets, the cool air clearing my head. At the corner flower shop, something catches my eye. A bouquet of bright daisies and soft pink roses. I hesitate, then step inside. The florist wraps the flowers carefully, and I carry them home like a small victory. Back in the kitchen, the bouquet sits vivid against the gray morning light. A splash of color in the quiet house. I pull out a notebook and pen, fingers trembling as I write. Marcus, I'm tired of the silence between us. I'm tired of feeling invisible. I don't want to fight anymore. I want us to find our way back. I'm here, ready to listen, ready to talk when you are. Love, Natalie. I fold the note carefully, then tuck it into my bag. I'm not sure if I'll leave it out or wait for the right moment. The flowers catch my eye again. Maybe this is the start of something new. For me, for us. Sometimes, healing begins with a single step. The front door creaks open just after dark. Marcus steps inside, quiet as a shadow. The house is still, lights low, dinner long packed away. He hangs his coat, his eyes drifting to the kitchen table. Natalie's bouquet still blooming, bright against the silence. He slowly walks in. She's not in the kitchen, not on the couch. He spots her through the cracked bedroom door, curled up in bed, back turned, the covers pulled up high. Her body doesn't move when he steps closer. He stands there a moment, unsure what to say, and then he doesn't say anything at all. He walks into the kitchen, hands in his pockets, heaviness growing with each step. A memory creeps in, soft and sudden. His mother, sitting beside him on the porch after one of the hardest days of his teen years. She didn't try to fix it. She didn't ask questions. She just sat down, brought hot tea and a blanket, and stayed. She stayed. No lecture. No, I told you so. Just warmth. And somehow, it meant more than any speech could have. Marcus opens a cabinet and pulls out Natalie's favorite pale blue mug, the one she always picked on Sunday mornings. He places it gently on the counter. Then he pulls out the skillet. It's still dark when the eggs hit the pan. Toast pops, butter melts. He moves slowly, carefully, still unsure, but trying. He doesn't know how to say, "I'm sorry," but this he can do. He sets the table for one, lays out a napkin, fills her mug with vanilla chai. Plenty of milk, just like she likes it. Then on a small notepad, he tears a piece and scribbles 4 words. No questions asked, day off. Underneath, he draws a tiny heart with a shaky hand. He places the coupon beside the vase of flowers. The steam from the tea twists softly in the golden morning light. Then, without a note or noise, he walks upstairs and quietly closes the bedroom door behind him. The smell of toast drifts into the bedroom as light filters through the curtains. Natalie stirs, expecting the dull usual, but what greets her is something else. Warmth, tea, quiet, comfort. She walks into the kitchen, still wrapped in her robe, brows furrowed, then stops cold. The table is perfectly set. Toast, chai, her favorite mug. The bouquet moved to the middle, like it belongs in every home that learns to heal. Then she sees the paper. She reads it once, then again, and her hand rises to her chest, holding the ache there gently. She sits down, slowly, tears gathering at the corners of her eyes. But they're not from pain this time. She picks up the coupon. The handwriting is anything but steady, but she traces the words with her thumb. No speeches, no sudden apology, just something deeper. Software, real, enough. Have you ever received a gesture more powerful than an apology? What did it mean to you? She sips from the blue mug, the warmth traveling all the way down. And inside her, a little shift. Not everything is fixed, but the door. It's open again. The morning sunlight spills gently through the kitchen window, turning steam from a fresh mug of coffee into gold. I sit at the table, hands wrapped around the warmth. My chest still heavy, with everything left unsaid. Marcus comes in, moving quieter than usual. He pulls out a chair and sits across from me, his eyes softer, rimmed with regret. He clears his throat, voice breaking the hush. "Natalie, I need to say I'm sorry for not listening, for making you feel invisible last night, for all the times I just disappeared instead of dealing with things. I look up, surprised by the honesty. My eyes sting, but I manage. It hurts, Marcus, more than I wanted to admit. I felt like I was all alone in our home. His shoulders slump. He looks at his hands, then back at me. I was proud. I get stubborn when I'm scared. I didn't want to mess it up worse, so I just shut down. But I know that only hurts you more. A long, full silence hangs between us, careful, but healing. I reach over, my fingers finding his hand. Thank you for saying it. I don't need perfect words. I just need to know you see me. He looks at me with raw relief, a small smile trembling on his lips. We just hold hands for a minute, letting the moment wash over us. Just then, Eli rushes into the kitchen, still in mismatched pajamas, hair all wild. Are we having pancakes? It smells good here. Marcus lets out a choked laugh and tousles Eli's hair. Absolutely, buddy. First batch is yours. Eli slides into his chair, looking between us. He notices our hands still clinging together and grins wide. Did you two make up? I squeeze Marcus's hand and nod. We're working on it. Breakfast is easy. Soft jokes, shared smiles, the scrape of forks and clinking of glasses. The room feels warmer, lighter. Once we're done, I remember the letter I wrote the night before. The honest words I couldn't quite say out loud when it hurt the most. I fish it from my bag, nerves jumping. I wrote this after everything. I didn't know if I should show you. I slide it across to Marcus. He unfolds it slowly, reading every word with care. When he finishes, he swipes at his eyes, voice thick. Thank you for sharing this. I'm really sorry I made you feel that way. We tuck the letter, along with the breakfast coupon Marcus left for me, into a small keepsake box on the kitchen shelf. It sits there, a little testament to this morning, to us choosing each other again. Later, as the sun gets higher, Eli begs us to go to the park. Marcus smiles at me. Let's do it. We head out the front door, laughter echoing down the sidewalk. Eli runs ahead, squealing with joy, the wind tugging his coat every which way. Marcus and I walk side by side, arms brushing, our steps in rhythm again. On the swing set, Eli calls, "Watch me," and I cheer, my voice ringing with something I thought I lost, hope. Walking back home, I look up at Marcus, the worry lines around his eyes softer now. We don't say much, but our fingers find each other easily, like they always used to. For the first time in a long time, it feels like things can truly mend. At home, I place the keepsake box back on the shelf, glancing at it with a gentle smile. It's not just a box. It's proof that the smallest acts, one apology, one breakfast, one honest word, can change everything. Sometimes real love is just one brave moment after another. Sometimes all it takes is being willing to open the door again. The evening light spills across the kitchen table, catching on the edge of the keepsake box. Inside it, a folded letter and a torn sheet of notebook paper with 4 little words. No questions, asked day off. I glance at that box almost every day now. Not with pain, but with quiet gratitude. I used to think love meant grand gestures or perfect timing, but now I know real love lives in tiny acts, soft efforts, choosing to stay when it's easier to shut the door. It's not always neat or easy. Sometimes it looks like burnt toast handed over in silence, or tea in your favorite mug after a long night. Sometimes it's just turning on the light when someone's still sitting in the dark. Marcus and I don't get everything right. We still bump into old habits, wrestle with unspoken things, but we've learned to meet each other more in the middle, to pause, to try. The kitchen table that once felt cold and quiet now holds conversation, clutter, laughter. Eli's spelling flashcards, takeout menus, and that same old blue mug, still steaming most mornings. There are still days when words fail, but we've found other ways to show up. A hand on the back, a shared smile, a walk around the block. Those little things, they matter. Can you remember a time when a gesture meant more than the words, "I'm sorry"? Share your story below. We'd love to hear how someone helped you feel seen again. Tonight, as we gather at our table, Marcus, Eli, and me, there's a fresh pie cooling on the counter, the same kind I made the night we stopped talking. This time, Marcus cuts the first slice, sets it gently on my plate, and smiles. "Thanks for still believing in me." I nod. "Thanks for finding your way back." Eli adds whipped cream to his slice and announces, "This family is good at fixing things." The three of us laugh, and for a second, it feels like something brand new, even though we've had it all along. The sun dips gently outside. The kitchen hums with love, not loud or perfect, but real, because sometimes healing isn't grand. It's quiet, simple, brave. It's love choosing kindness over pride, one small moment at a time. If this story touched your heart, take a moment to think about someone in your life who might need a little kindness today. A small gesture, a text, a hug, a quiet, "I'm here," can truly make a difference. Have you ever experienced a moment where an action meant more than words? Maybe it wasn't an apology, but it still healed something. Share your story in the comments. We'd love to hear how love showed up for you. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real stories about love, healing, and second chances. Sometimes the smallest moment is the one that changes everything.